Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be my top perfume picks for winter. Now this list is different. This isn't like a top loves. This is the top perfumes I'm going to be wearing for winter because they're new to my collection. I'm still testing it out. So it's a little bit different than like my top. I'm gonna go ahead and link my top winter perfume videos below. I just started doing seasonal playlists. These are definitely perfumes I'm looking forward to wearing in winter 2022/2023. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, for the most part, most of these perfumes are newer purchases that I've picked up pretty much at the tail end of 2021 and then throughout 2022. There are a couple that are a little older that are kind of forgotten fragrances, one of them being my scent of the day. So I wanted to include them because I'm going to be picking them up, wearing them, and deciding if I still want these fragrances in my collection. So the first one up is going to be my scent of the day, which is Coco Mademoiselle Chanel, and this is the Eau de Parfum Intense. And I love the original. I don't know if I love this one. I actually have it on now, and it's a beastly fragrance, so I'm not gonna touch up too much. I'm just gonna touch it up on my wrist. I love the opening of this fragrance. I think it's the dry down that I'm kind of iffy about. So I was hoping that the longer this one sat, because this is supposed to be the more intense, which it is. Both of them are pretty intense. Like the original is more beastly and strong in a fresher version. This one's a little bit more sexy, but I was hoping to get the vanilla and this one a little bit more. I know other people pick it up really well in this fragrance. And for me, when this one dries down, the patchouli is starting to get stronger. Again, I love this fragrance in the opening, like right now smelling it on my wrist. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a little bit more blended, less sharp than the original. The original's more citrus to my nose. I like that one in winter as well. It's one of my top winter fragrances, especially around the holidays because it's very nostalgic to me. And I gotta play with it a little bit more. So that's why I'm really looking forward to kind of playing with this one because I don't know, on the dry down, the patchouli is just throwing me off. I want a little bit more of that vanilla that's listed in here that, again, a lot more people get. Okay, another one that I already know I like this one, but I wanted to put it in here because I got this one, I want to say last year. That is Givenchy's L'Interdit, and this is the intense version. Now, I've been wearing and loving the Rouge, so I'm looking forward to picking this one up. This is a tuberose, classy fragrance. It's got a little bit of a grapiness, this whole line does, and then it dries down to a pretty white floral. This one's a little bit more intense than the original and a little bit more vanilla. I get a sweetness from the original, but this one definitely I pick up more of the vanilla. And again, that is Givenchy's L'Interdit, and this is the intense version. Okay, I think pretty much the rest of them I've gotten this past year, so I'm really looking forward to just playing around with all my House of Sillage. I've kind of gone ham, and in this past year I have added I think 6 cupcakes. So I have the new Minnie Mouse coming. I can't wait to get that one. I actually pre-ordered it, so I'm just gonna kind of just go over one, but I'm really looking forward to playing with the new Batman. And this one is got a note of apple. It's kind of a sexy, musky, warm, like you get the amber that's in here. You get the patchouli, you do get the oak moss. This has kind of something a little mossy to it. So the apple note in here isn't very strong. I actually like layering this one with Eden Juicy Apple, but this is a really sexy kind of patchouli fragrance. I do like the patchouli in this one. It just blends well with the other notes. So everything's blended really beautifully, and the patchouli isn't like overly prominent to my nose in this one. Kind of gives it a sexiness. Okay, another fragrance that I already know I enjoy, but I know I'm gonna enjoy it more for winter because this is beastly on me, but this is Viktor and Rolf's Good Fortune. This is kind of your vanilla white floral fragrance. It has kind of a bubblegummy opening, and in my review, the fennel note came off a little spicy, but not like the little spices like people actually told me that it's what goes in Italian sausage. This to me is when you think of the actual fennel plant. It's a little bit more herbal and almost tonic to my nose. So it's one that, because I get that note, I do find that it adds a uniqueness, but the actual base of this fragrance is kind of your white floral vanilla, which is kind of what is in trend right now in the designer world. Like, they don't smell alike, but just your white floral vanilla kind of fragrances, and not overly vanilla. This isn't a vanilla perfume, but it's in the base, and they kind of do smell a little similar. This one, the opening of this one reminds me a little bit of My Way, with that kind of bubblegum opening, but then as this dries down, it does become a little bit more white floral. But I do pick up on that fennel note for the first few hours, and that's what I really like. This is one that less is more. I can't overspray this, and this is a very, very like beast mode fragrance. I think Viktor and Rolf make amazing fragrances when it comes to performance. I have 5 of their fragrances, and they all last on me very well. They are a little bit more on the pricier side. They've always kind of been more of a pricey designer house, but I enjoy them, and I do enjoy this cheesy bottle. Again, that is Viktor and Rolf Good Fortune. Okay, so one that I don't know if I've talked about this fragrance, but I did get it recently. This is Carolina Herrera's Good Girl Supreme. This one's just a sweeter, fruitier version. Someone said that it was like lactonic, but there's no lactonic notes, but I almost get that. I can't remember, because I mean, I engage with so many people in the comments, and this was a while ago. Someone told me that this scent was a little lactonic, but I didn't see notes like that, but I kind of see what they're saying. There's something about this that's creamy. Yeah, there's something kind of fluffy about this one. I don't know what it is. And again, that's Carolina Herrera's Good Girl Supreme. Now this next one is definitely more lactonic. Like, it's in the accords. I believe there's a note. Yeah, there's a milk note in this one. I kind of hauled it because it is one that's talked about, or was talked about a lot. I think the first person I've ever heard talk about it was AMBRE Chantel, and that is Yes I Am by Cacharel. This is a nice, affordable fragrance. This is fruity, so if you don't like overly fruity fragrances, I love fruity fragrances. This is fruity. You get that raspberry. It's lactonic. I believe there's caramel. There is a sweetness, but this isn't overly like gourmand to my nose. This is like fruity gourmand. Kind of like, this doesn't smell anything like Lalique Soleil or Soleil by Lalique, but they're both that kind of fragrance where it's fruity, kind of lactonic, bright, and then it's got gourmand touches to it. Again, they don't smell anything alike. It's very pretty, and it's affordable. So I'm really looking forward to playing with this one. I think this is going to be like a really nice kind of easy grab in my collection for winter, which you guys know I love those. Okay, recently I picked up Coffee and Whiskey by Bath and Body Works, and the minute I put that on, it reminded me of this fragrance. And then I wore them together, and it was like my bedtime fragrance, and I smelled so good. And that is Replicas Coffee Break by Maison Margiela. And this is considered creamy and cozy coffee. Now the coffee in here isn't strong. I've described this scent as being more of a vibe. Yeah. This is, I'm gonna sound like a broken record because I say this every time. This is, you walk into a coffee shop, and usually coffee shops are like super cold. I don't know why. But you walk into a coffee shop, they have like maybe lavender kind of coming through the air vents, and then you're smelling the aromas of coffee off in the background. So you're getting kind of that lavender scent coming in, and then you've got the coffee mixed in, and then maybe you're sitting down and there's like a wooden table and wooden chairs. This is more like a vibe. And then it's like rainy outside. That's what this smells like and what this feels like. And then when I put on Coffee and Whiskey, it was just beautiful together. The coffee's off in the background. And another thing I noticed, because I recently got a coffee scent that I'm gonna be talking about in a haul, the coffee in here is more like black coffee. It's not sugary sweet coffee. I recently got a coffee scent, but it's like a sugary sweet coffee, and there's a difference. The coffee in here is light, and it's more of black coffee, and it's not like coffee powder or coffee bean. It's like the coffee's already brewed. So again, it's like the aroma of coffee, and it's not sugary sweet because there's a difference, and I don't like it. I'm learning that I like coffee notes in the background, and when it's more of a bitter kind of coffee. I don't like that overly sweet coffee scent, and I don't find the coffee in here to be predominant. Strong is definitely more blended, and it's more in the background. For me, I get more of the lavender. When this dries down, I do start to get kind of white florals a little bit, so it does change. The opening is more where I get that kind of vibe, and then as it dries down, I get more of the floral. I don't know if it's jasmine, but it's definitely more of the florals. It's a little bit powdery in the dry down, and I do like mixing it with that lotion. I don't know that I'll ever not wear this without the lotion, because I feel like the lotion kind of takes down the mid that I like, but I love the opening of this fragrance. So I feel like that combination kind of lets me hang on to that a little bit longer. So I'm really looking forward to Coffee Break and the new Coffee and Whiskey from Bath and Body Works. I got the cream. I don't have it right next to me, but if you like Coffee Break and can get your hands on that, I would pick that up because they complement each other very well. Okay, another fragrance that I'm really looking forward to playing with, and this is Juliet Has a Gun. And this was a fragrance that was sent to me by Beauty Live, and I don't know how I feel about this one. That's why I want to play with it a little bit more. I heard that this was Hypnotic Poison without the Play-Doh. I actually picked out this one because I heard that it was Hypnotic Poison, which I really enjoy the Eau de Parfum, but the Play-Doh note is what made me end up decluttering that one, because I do pick it up in the Eau de Parfum. To me, it's worse in the Eau de Toilette. So this doesn't have that vanilla that comes off a little Play-Doh. I will say that. But I want the raspberry note just a little bit more. This one, I don't know. It does give me a lighter Hypnotic Poison, but this doesn't smell like it. It falls in that same kind of family, but it's lighter, muskier, a little bit more ambroxan. So it's actually one that's nice year round, especially if you enjoy that kind of scent profile and you want something that you can wear year round. This one's not heavy, because I did find the Eau de Parfum especially to be a little bit more heavy for like spring and summer. I'm gonna play with this one a little bit more. I am gonna be doing a house review on this one, but again, I want to spend some time with it. And this is Juliet Has a Gun. Okay, this one I already know I love, but I'm really looking forward to wearing this one for winter. But this is Libre, and this is the Le Parfum version. This one, it changed a little bit from when I first got it. So there were notes that I didn't get. That's actually my next video. This one, I'm starting to get the honey, but the honey isn't thick. Oh, this one's so good. This one's more spicy. I wouldn't say that this is overly intense. I find this whole range to be very, I mean, these perform very well. This one, to me, I still say is if the Intense version and the original had a baby, because the Intense comes off less citrus to me and more vanilla, and then the original comes off a little bit more citrus and a little bit more lavender. I really get the lavender in this one, but it's more smooth and not as sharp. I don't mind the lavender in the original. The original is my favorite. I feel like the honey is really smoothing out the lavender in this one. But this is lavender. It's again honey, but don't think like the honey that's in the Scandal fragrances, at least not to my nose or on me. Those honey fragrances are a little thicker. The honey in here is very blended, and I really feel like it's smoothing out the scent. This one's also masculine in the opening, but then it almost gets a little bit more feminine and sweet in the dry down, but not like masculine, like unisex fragrance. It has that kind of boss lady vibe. They all do. And this one does get sweeter in the dry down, and then the kind of spiciness, the warm spicy, goes down a little bit. So again, that's Libre Le Parfum. Okay, so I recently did a this or that on Camera Latafa. and I broke my top. This one I'm hoping to get more of the base notes. I'm hoping that this one, because I don't get the base notes right now. Right now I get apple pie in the opening, and then in the dry down I get vanilla and dates. And this gets really sweet and almost borderline a little holiday candle on my skin in the way dry down. So I'm gonna be playing with this one some more. I am enjoying this one for layering, but on its own it's just a little, I don't know, the dates and the vanilla take over for this one. I prefer Angel Share. If you guys haven't seen my review, I'll link that one below as well. But people have compared this to Angel Share. So I'm looking forward to kind of playing with this one and seeing if it changes, because I do think that certain fragrances, especially when they have particular notes, like woodsy notes and like vanilla notes, those can change. And again, I have a video. I don't know which one's going up first. So this is Camera by Lattafa. So this one is super new. This is Eilish number 2 by Billie Eilish. This is definitely going to be a winter fragrance. This is woody. This is sexy. I have a review on this that I'll link below if you want more details on what I get on this one. But this one I think is going to be perfect for winter. Doesn't get stolen from me by my sister or my friend, because I think they're gonna really like this one. This one surprised me because these kind of fragrances are certainly hit or miss for me. Again, I'll leave my full review on what I get. This is not gonna be a safe blind buy, but I am looking forward to wearing this one in winter because I think it's going to be perfect in cooler weather. And again, that is Eilish 2 by Billie Eilish. Okay, and then last we have Kayali Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli 64. This fragrance is super polarizing, super divided. I do not want to take away from people who love this or people who hate this. I also don't want to say either you love this or you hate it, because I'm in the middle. I don't love this fragrance, but I don't hate this fragrance. This is just one that I prefer to layer with. And it's because of that rum note. I actually cut it out in my video, but the rum in here is like the rum the next day. You know, when you've drank too much that is kind of permeating off your skin, that's the rum in here in the opening. And then as it dries down, it becomes more of that boozy note. It's one that I do like to layer. I was sent this fragrance and I am going to keep it. It's limited edition. I like to layer with it. I appreciate that they sent this to me to try. This isn't, again, this isn't a love, this isn't a hate. This to me doesn't smell like Vanilla 28, but I started to get kind of that brown sugar in cooler weather. And then I started to get a little bit more of a sweetness from it and a little bit touch of a creaminess from this one. But it's not one that I see myself wearing on its own. So again, that's Kayali's Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli 64. So this wouldn't be a video from your girl if I didn't miss something. So this is Soleil Vibrant by Lalique. And this is actually my scent of the night, and that is when I realized I missed this scent. I wanted something kind of cozy, floral, vanilla, but bright. And this one I popped on, and then I realized while I was editing my video, which is going up tomorrow, that I completely forgot this fragrance. This is newer to my collection. So if you want to know more about this fragrance, I will link my comparison video below. But this is another gorgeous scent that I'm looking forward to wearing in the winter. Those are my top picks for winter. Those are the fragrances that I'm looking forward to playing with, seeing where they fall, seeing if they're going to stay in my collection, because again, they are newer fragrances. They're ones that I'm not sure yet if I love them or how I feel about them, so I'm really looking forward to playing with them. A lot of them I did get in warmer weather, so I was able to play with them around that time. I do think that fragrances also need time to sit. They also play differently during different times of the year, so really looking forward to seeing how they smell in cooler weather. So let me know in the comments below, what are some of your top picks for winter? But that will do it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.